with the pen, I'm learning life. My face is divine, words inspire in perfect time. Nurtured right, them man there be learning life, rehearsing life. Trust me, far from certified. Acting while you sleep, I'm working nights. I want all the ups to feel like that Jurgen guy on Merseyside.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. We are back. Another live stream, another review, another L. We lost again. Fucking again. Big up everybody that's locked in. As always, hit the like button on your way into the stream, the same way Joe Willock hit that strike into the back of our net. Press the bell notification button to be the first to know whenever we release any new content. If you guys want to be in the chance of winning the third kit, any super chat, any amount gets you into a lottery with a chance to win it. If you want, can't even try to push it like that anymore. But if you want it, drop a super chat. And yeah, if you guys want any kits, use Jerseys FC in the description below for all your best affordable football jerseys. And yeah, it doesn't have to be Chelsea. I wouldn't blame any of you for not wanting a Chelsea kit. But if you guys want any, links down in the description below. Use the code CarefreeLewisG and get yourself 20% off. And yeah, let's get into the game. We got battered, even though it was still only a 1-0 game. Never at any point did we look like the better side. Just Newcastle never really put us to the sword. It's another one of those games where we were just good enough defensively to hang on. But it was only a matter of time before we were going to concede. Just not surprised by the fact that we were going to concede sooner or later because we kept putting ourselves into pressure. You're so shaky in possession. We've got 10s who just road run for the sake of it. That front three. I like Potter. I ain't on this Potter out bullshit that half the fan base is already on. But that front three is a sin. There we go. What the fuck was that? Even my laptop's on the blink today. I can't be fucking arsed. Let me take a few tabs off. Bear with me, guys. This shit's on the fucking blink. I can't be bothered. I will get to you guys' comments. Just bear with me, please, because this is pissing me off. Right, yeah, we should be back. We should be back. Don't know what the fuck that was. Let me know if I'm back now. Let me know if I'm back now. While we're doing that, I'll go through a few of the comments. Safe, big up. I'm not even reading your name, but big up. Chelsea OG says, I rate you for not being depressed. Are you sure, bro? Are you sure? Ha! Bro, trust me, this team is depressing. I'm just so glad I don't have to watch this club for the next 6 weeks. Thank the fucking Lord, because shit, this team does a lot to my mental health. Probably does a lot to you guys' mental health as well. Charlie, big up yourself, my guy. I wish like we could have spoken for a little bit longer, but it's just such a rush on match days. Next time we'll link, we'll go out for a drink properly and we'll talk because we didn't get enough of a chance to do it. Big up yourself anyway. It was good to finally meet you. It genuinely was. It was one of the highlights of the day. So big up yourself, my guy. Henrik says, I think new midfielders will solve most of the problems we have. What do you think? No, because we still have a creative issue. Yeah, we can get a stronger midfield, and it would mean our attack would perform better, but I still think there would be a creativity problem. So I don't know if it solves everything. Then you got to take into account we still have to overhaul the attack. You got to figure out what we're doing with our goalkeepers. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I do agree the midfield is the first place that we need to sort out. Midfield was atrocious yesterday. Jorginho just got absolutely bent over for 90 minutes. Kovacic, his passing range has just disappeared in the last 2 games. And I don't know if it's World Cup tax or whatever, but just fucking annoying. So many of these players are not turning up. And we have to rely on Manchester United to win today. We have to support Manchester United today because if fucking Fulham win, we will be 9th. and Fulham will be above us in the table. This is where we have sunk to as a football club, where Fulham could be above us. Says a fucking lot, man. Can't be bothered, man. Can't be fucking bothered. Fans also need to be held accountable. Player, manager agendas and all that BS. Throw that out the window. On the manager, yeah, fair enough. But the players, I'm sure we can all universally agree that 80% of these lot are shit. So, player agendas. I always keep saying, agendas is always something that someone says when they don't agree with the opinion that they're talking about. Ooh, you have a Havertz agenda. Only people who say that are people who rate Havertz. Ooh, you have a Jorginho agenda. Only people who will say that are people who rate Jorginho. It's as simple as that. Agendas are just opinions. And people are entitled to their opinions. Whether you agree or disagree, it is what it is. Like, even the Potter in, Potter out stuff. I don't agree with people who are Potter out. I think they are genuinely, like, jumping the gun. And they expect Potter to work magic the same way Tuchel did. Like, this is the same team Tuchel had. Like, this team hasn't declined since we won the Champions League. It takes the piss. And the same thing as well, because I see this so much. The amount of people who commented under my fan cam, who comment about the squad and say, but this team won the Champions League. They won the Champions... Shut up. Seriously, shut the fuck up about the Champions League, bruv. This is not the same squad. The midfield has declined since then. Our attack has declined since then. And they weren't even any better under Tuchel. So please, shut the fuck up about the Champions League. I'm so sick of it being used as an excuse for these bummy players. They're not good enough. It's as simple as that. They ain't fucking good enough. And the sooner people get it through their heads, the quicker we can all move forward as a fan base. And we can all actually agree on something. That the squad needs to be overhauled. Stop acting like the problem is Potter. Because it is not. Yeah, Bowley, I can't lie, he took an L with deciding he wanted to jump into a completely new industry and then just change everything like that. Even Abramovich didn't do it. Abramovich waited a year and then got rid of Ranieri. You could use the Saudis and, I guess, Newcastle as an example, but Steve Bruce is one of the worst managers in the league at that point, so I'm not too surprised. They all wanted him gone. Context has to be applied. But that was stupid from Bowley, but that doesn't make Potter any less of a manager. It doesn't. I keep saying, if Tuchel was still here and we were talking about who we wanted to see replace Tuchel when he left, a lot of people would have said Potter. Everyone is pissed because of the way Tuchel was treated. And I understand that, but Tuchel is gone. Get over it. Move on. Fucking move on. You lot are acting like we ain't sacked managers unfairly before. Like I didn't watch Jose Mourinho get sacked in exactly the same circumstances in 2007. Like we didn't see Ancelotti get sacked in the tunnel. Like we haven't seen Jose get sacked twice. Twice. Us literally yank Gus Hiddink out of retirement because we needed a favour. And you act like we treat managers well. I don't care. I don't care. Cenac saying you are doing the Lord's work, my guy. Been arguing with Chelsea tinfoil hats last night about the midfield and no creator being the real issue instead of just Potter. Exactly. People just do the same thing that most football fans do. They just look at the manager straight away. Criticize and that's fair. That front three was a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. You can criticize where you want to and that's fine. This Potter in, Potter out narrative is a load of crap. It's a load of crap. Felix says Eunice's video yesterday made me more angry at Potter than any manager before. I'm all for patience, but where is the proof to trust this guy? Where is the proof to trust this squad? And don't say the Champions League. Please don't say the Champions League. I'll ask you that question. Because Potter has been on an upward trajectory as a manager since he started. Like, he has always jumped into a bigger role. And he's adapted and he's thrived. We know the squad is the issue. So why would the manager be the first person we go for over the players? Like, guys, we're treating Potter like he's fucking, I don't know, Mark Hughes or Frank de Boer or some shit. This is a good manager. You just have a shit squad. I really don't understand it. Geordie Toon for life, big up yourself. Congratulations on the win. It will get better. Potter needs time in his own players. Keep telling them, man. How can rival fans see this and our fans can't? Get rid of Kai, Mount, Ziyech, Pulisic, and our team's mentality will be much, much better. I thought Pulisic was one of our only shining lights, to be fair. Kai, Ziyech came on too late to do anything. Mount is just fucking atrocious, man. The fact that Mason Mount wants the same wages and the same length of contract as Reece James is a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace. The fact you can play like that consistently week in and week out and think you deserve those sorts of wages is laughable. It is genuinely laughable. He has not been good enough this season, and I keep saying it. He has been shit. And this is also to everyone who thinks I have an English agenda, by the way, because I've been gunning for Mount the whole season because he hasn't been good enough. Mount has been fucking poor. Gallagher was poor. Both of them together just did the same thing. It's fucking cardio sesh for 90 minutes and that's it. It wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough at all. Hear what you're saying about the players being shit, but the manager has to do something to hide the weaknesses of these players. Bro, look at the weaknesses of the squad. Our midfield gets ran through like a train on transition. Our attack has no creativity. Our midfield has no creativity. Our defense still needs to develop an understanding of each other. And we still look shaky playing out at the back. And Kepa's injured, so we can't even get better at that. So what do you expect Potter to do when he has just been handed a mess? He can't just work magic. I don't get it. Like, we're saying we know the squad isn't good enough, but you need to make it better. What? It's like a suicide mission, bro. That's pointless. The biggest issue, and I will keep saying it, is the squad. Not the manager. It is the squad. Because people love to act like we were brilliant under Tuchel. Like we were brilliant all of 2022. Like we weren't literally trying to hand third place to Arsenal on a silver plate. Like our only good games in 2022 weren't Real Madrid away, Lille at home, any game against Tottenham, and the FA Cup matches. Why are we pretending like we've been good all year? Why are we pretending like we were good at the start of the season under Tuchel? We weren't. Because our squad is not good enough. It's as simple as that. It's just that easy. Yeah, bro, I was only there for the nightlife. I kept saying there was just a game in the middle of it. I didn't give a shit about... I won't even lie. I did massively give a shit about the game. But I was there for the nightlife. If I didn't have... If it weren't for that, I would have just stayed at home. I'm going to be real with you. At the end of last season, I fucked off Man United away and Everton away because the team just gave up. So I was like, fuck you lot. I'm not travelling for your bum ass. And we didn't even win any of them. Yes, you're damn right I was. Because it's a bare minimum show of respect to the fans who travel hours to watch you lot. Yes, Potter is not the problem. Even then, like, clapping the fans isn't the problem, but it's a show of respect. Fucking do it. You've been running around for 90 minutes doing fuck all. You can walk up to the fans, clap them for a little bit and leave. It's not much. It's not much. And I like Pulisic, but he doesn't do it at all. He rarely ever does it. It's not the first time he's been called out for it. What else is everyone saying? Yeah, we need a reset. Big reset needed, my guy. Actually, tell a lie. Potter didn't either. And that's poor from him too. Because there was only a couple that even came up to us. I only singled out Ziyech, Havertz, and Pulisic because I literally watched the three of them walk off together. So it was like, fuck you guys, innit? That's the way I felt about it. But there was probably way more. Didn't Deep Mount and Gallagher on the bench, so I don't even know if they did. Potter, I don't think he did. I think it was only Silva, Chalobah, a couple of other players. It's just, the mentality's a joke from top to bottom. It's a fucking disgrace. Welcome to the Bantier. Don't worry, 3 years will go quick. I only see this as this season. Like, next season, we should be a lot better. We should be sorting out the midfield in January, or at least bringing in 1 or 2 options. Yeah, and in the summer, just do everything that we can. Get wing-back depth. Get creators in. Maybe we need another goal scorer. Depends on Aubameyang and the whole situation with him. Yeah, Man City with Mark Hughes. Another example of a new ownership coming in and getting rid of the manager. But they didn't do it immediately. We did. And that's where Bowley's going to have to hold that. If you've seen... Why do you want to see Potter get sacked? I don't get it. Josh, are you about? Because if you're about, I'll send you the link in about 10 minutes. Potter in, Potter out poll. Cool, let me run that. Give me a sec. I'm going to add that in. Bear with me while I do this, guys. I need to reset it. All right, cool. Let's do this. Oh, no, shit, no, that's a Q&A. Eesh. Fuck off. All right, poll. Potter in or out, and then in and out. There we go. Right. Polls up. Let me know what you guys are saying. Potter in won last time we did this. So let's see. What style of football does Potter play? Can you tell me? Have you seen any consistent style of play? Even one style of play? Could you tell me our style of play under Thomas Tuchel in the last few weeks, other than endlessly pass the ball around midfield for the sake of it? Same energy applies. Do you want to know why? Because our team is shit. It's the same answer. Everything that I will say will go back to the same thing, and that the team is not good enough. So focus on that. Focus on improving the squad before we focus on the manager. We haven't made Mount the main guy, but if we give him that contract, we will have done. And that is fake as fuck, and we shouldn't be doing that. Let me see. There's a lot of comments, so I'm just trying to pick the best ones. Guys, if you want to guarantee your comment gets read, I'll drop the super chat. Would you guys be okay with Mount leaving? If he's playing like this, yeah. Or, like, if he managed to humble himself a little bit, he could be a good squad player. I wouldn't be against Mount being a squad player, because right now that's the level he's playing at. But not as a starter. You saw... Yeah, I did see his post. I just scrolled past that shit. I don't care. Didn't care at all. Eunice said Graham Potter does nothing. I'll watch the video before I make my judgments. Yes, bro. Charlie, at what time you leave Newcastle to be home already? Yo, I left at like 8:30. 8:30. We went out to like 4 and then I just crashed out immediately. And yeah, somehow I woke up in time for the train. I woke up and I thought it would have been midday or some shit. But hey, we move. And yeah, then after that, check out 5 Things on Chelsea Fan TV. Might do Shameless tonight. Might do Shameless. Depends on who's about. Also depends on how sleepy I am, because I barely had any time to sleep. Fucking hell, I'm so far behind. Lewis, you don't have any problems with Potter at all? I do think Like, some of the lineups could have been better. Sometimes his in-game management hasn't been right. But I think the squad's a bigger issue than the manager is. So my focus isn't too much on him. I think everyone just wants to see a Tuchel sort of turnaround. And that's not going to happen because we don't have the same squad at the same level. Our squad's got worse. Everyone else around us has got better. Like, we just need to realize where we are as a squad. It's as simple as that. Like, look at... Fucking hate even used as an example. Look how shit Arsenal were like a year or two ago. Now they're top of the league. Look how shit Liverpool looked in their first year and a half under Klopp. And then they went and won the Champions League and the Premier League. This is a rebuild. You're at stage 1 of a rebuild. This is the experimental stage where Potter figures out the system that's best for these players and the players that he wants to continue with after the summer. It shouldn't have been done now. It should have been at the end of this season. But that's on the board. We can't do anything about that. Neither can Potter. Have to ride it out. We have to. Bro, Pulisic is probably one of our better forwards. Good. On form, is he probably our best forward right now? He might be, you know. He might be. There's a few super chats here. Cool. Gonna get to those and I'm gonna scroll back up a little bit more. Right, so we have Daniel saying, said I wouldn't watch a Chelsea stream, but this channel is my full backing always because you gave me an opportunity. Big up yourself, my guy. You already know what it is, Daniel. If you want the link, yeah, I'll send you the link anyway if you want to hop on. Art Meets Culture says, thoughts on the potential Earls Court move? Great move. We've been meaning to upgrade Stamford Bridge for ages. And as much as I love Stamford Bridge, and I'd hate to leave it, I've already said in the long-term ambitions of the club, we would be better off moving anyway. People just don't want to admit it. We can't build over 60k if we stay at Stamford Bridge. If we move to another spot, we could potentially build over 60k. So it's probably a better move for us. All just depends on the way the ground's built. Because I didn't like the designs for the old new Stamford Bridge because there was 13,000 extra seats. No, there was 17,000 extra seats and 13k were all hospitality. All I saw that was just killing the atmosphere, dead in the water, if it's not already dead. So I didn't like that. All depends on how the ground is designed, but I'm here for it. Richard says, change the squad. Bowley has no idea who to pick. Squad's got to change. Yeah, I agree. I'm not too sure what you mean about Bowley has no idea who to pick, but yeah, I'd change the squad. Right. What else is everyone saying? Name the players who'd keep. Right now, Reece James. I will reserve my judgment on the new signings until next season, unless they're literally Bakayoko level bad. But that's impossible, personally. Reece James, Kovacic. Guess the likes of Broja, Gallagher, them lot. The rest of them could leave, personally. I wouldn't care less. Clapping fans after... No, it's not a smack in the face. Like, maybe you don't understand it because, like, you haven't been to games that regularly. And I'm not using that as a stick to beat you with. I'm the last person who uses that you don't go to games narrative. But it's basically like an unwritten rule that you go and applaud the fans after the game. The fans have come out to watch you, support you for 90 minutes. If it's an away game, they have traveled to watch you. You just go and applaud them. Say thank you for turning up. Thank you for supporting us. And then you leave. It's as simple as that. It's not a smack in the face. It's not. It's just a manner of respect. And it's not done enough. A lot of our players have stopped doing it. And this is what I mean by the fact they don't give a shit about this club. So I don't give a shit about them. It's as simple as that. You can fuck off. Not you, Josh. But, like, that's the thing with it. Like, it's not a slap in the face, bro. It isn't. I said bring back lamps. No, let's not do that. Ain't he still at the same win percentage as Benitez? Big up Lampard, but nah. Oh yeah, Wood cost us 60 million. He's on a 5-year contract. Big facts. Potter's got to be given time. I said Potter in or... No, because, like, I will allow people to have their opinion. Like, whether I agree or disagree, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to say, you're a fake fan because you want this guy to leave. No, I'll never be that sort of person. I don't agree with anyone who's Potter out. I think they're being very reactionary and very harsh when you look at how shit our squad is. But if that's their opinion, fine. It is what it is. I can't be the one to judge. Who's winning the poll? Oh, In still winning. Nice. Let's go. Oh yeah, Charlie, if you want the link as well, I'll send over the link to you too. Just let me know. What are you talking about humbling himself? If we had someone better, we'd be playing them. We have to rely on a 23-year-old. What do you mean? They're all shit, but he's meant to be our generational talent. He's meant to be the one that we're building the squad around. He's the one that half this fan base overhypes. He's the one who wants the same contract and the same wages as Reece James when you don't play with the same consistency as Reece James. So yes, humble himself. Because he doesn't deserve those wages. I don't care who gets pissed off with it. Hold the contract talks until his performances improve. Simple as. I don't care what anyone says. I don't give a shit. Big up Victor, my guy. Big up yourself. Yeah, big facts. This squad fucking reeks, bruv. If you want the link as well, I'll throw it to you too. Just DM me, my guy. Tim says Havertz is worse than Batshuayi. Fair enough, but he didn't really have any time to do anything when he came on. Just started beefing Dan Burn for no reason, but whatever. Why is Potter not... I don't know. I really don't know. Because Pulisic looked good enough against City that I would have started him in this game. Lewis Hall got that same respect. And by the way, Lewis Hall is dunking on this entire squad and he's 18 years of age. His Oyster card probably still beeps twice and he's better than half of these lot. How is an 18-year-old out of position our only creative outlet? But yeah, people want Potter to work magic with this squad. You see how it doesn't work when our personnel is shit. Simple as that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like, I don't want us to drop out the top 4, but it's not the end of the world if we do. Maybe one game a week would do us the world of good. It would help us stabilize ourselves a little bit. We can figure out how to play consistently through a league season before we figure out how to do that with cup competitions. Maybe it would work to our benefit. I'm not hearing none of this, oh, we need the Champions League to attract top players. What have we attracted for the last 5 years? I'll wait. Exactly that. Let's keep going. Lewis Hall should have been on for 40 minutes. Didn't he play most of the game? Oh yeah, Chalobah. I forgot about Chalobah. Yeah, Chalobah can stay too. My bad. You don't... Bruv, I'm literally said it's not that. I'm saying maybe you don't have an understanding of like what clapping the fans means if you don't go to games regularly. I think that's a fair thing to say. I'm not saying, oh, you don't go to games, you're plastic, you don't understand the club. No, I'm not talking down on anybody who doesn't go to games. I'm the last person who does that. I always advocate for worldwide fans. The whole reason why we are a worldwide supported club. I don't do that crap. So don't even say that I'm on that shit, because I'm not. It's a cultural thing. If you try to do that in the States, they would boo you back to... Fair enough. If that's what it's like in the US, then fair enough. I won't say anything. Maybe it is just a cultural thing. That's completely understandable. I might not understand that. Fine, I get that. Yeah, that's the way I see it. And I can't lie, a lot of them duck it. A lot of them duck it out. Which is why I'm so harsh on these players. You lot can't even walk up to us to clap us off. Fuck you then. Simple as. Fuck you. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care about half this squad. It's the least likable Chelsea squad in years. Monster wants a link. Say less, bro. Say less. Felix says these players are terrible. I agree. But Potter has to get more out of them to earn trust. We're in relegation form and he's not pushing them in training. I'm guessing that's based off what Eunice says. Potter has to get more out of them. Tuchel wasn't getting a lot out of them in the last few weeks. We weren't even playing well towards the end of last season. So if Tuchel couldn't get more out of them, why do we expect Potter to? I don't understand. I don't get it, man. Right, let me just scroll through the rest of these comments and then I'll send the link out to everybody. I swear if we're getting Cuckoo and play bombs like Brozier and Mount with Macan. I'm not judging Brozier yet. Every game I've seen Brozier play is isolated as fuck. I can't judge him or be harsh on him at all. He's the one where it's like, you know what, at least he tried. And I would understand that. Because if a striker makes runs and he doesn't get given service and he keeps making runs, fair enough. Fair enough. I get that, but whenever James plays, like, he's usually one of our best players, even straight off the injuries. That's why I would call him consistent. Yeah, maybe his playtime isn't consistent, but his performances are. And that isn't a debate. I said, where's Aubameyang? I don't know. He's not even going to the World Cup. I don't know why he didn't start. No, I refuse. I refuse to say trust the process. Right. Oh yeah, big up yourself, Sean. It was good seeing you as well, my guy. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, cool. Right, I'm just gonna send the link. Yeah, I'm sending the link. Fuck it. You guys know what to do. You guys know what to do. Hit that like button, my guys. Just bear with me because there's a lot of fucking people who want the link today. We got a lot to go through. Oh shit, oh shit, he wants a link too. Even better. Let's go. Cool. Oh yeah, Monster wanted it too. Give me a sec. Oh. I think that's everyone off Twitter. Just bear with me, guys. It's a fucking lot of people I need to send it to. Oh, no, wait. I said I send it to Daniel. Alright. That's everyone on Twitter. Cool. That is everybody. Nice. Alright, so who is in here? Declared Josh, Matt. What was everybody saying, my guys?
Big up, guys. My voice is gone. Sorry, guys, but it's the earliest time I can come on. So, but what is it that say, man?
Thanks for making it, Matt.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
Matt.
you said.
Thanks for
What's
making
that?
it.
No problem, Joshy. No problem, declared. Always a time to make the boys. But fucking Chelsea, man. What is
I
it that
turned
say
into the
about Chelsea?
Godfather.
What is it that talk about Chelsea, man? Fucking done with this team, man. But what do we expect? What do we expect, man? I'm waiting for this team, mate. This is the team.
Alex, how are we liking that mid-table football, my man?
Oh, fuck off.
Hey,
Well, it is.
when Alex was using an example last time saying we're 10th, and everyone says, no, we're not going to be 10th. It sounded crazy. We just won off it.
He was being kind. He was
Well,
being
that's what
kind.
happens when you protect these players. These players are genuinely rubbish. They need to go. The manager needs to step up. And we'll see what happens next summer when he gets the opportunity to get rid of these players, if he takes the opportunity to sell them. Because these players really need to get sold because they are genuinely embarrassing.
Yeah, to me,
Again,
they're just the main points of focus. They're the main point of focus to me over the manager because they're the constant that don't perform. Under Tuchel, they weren't. Yeah,
at least Tuchel he came out. He said Tuchel said these players are rubbish, but no one wanted to listen to him. Potter's here. Oh, the boys played well. All this fucking rubbish.
Yeah,
but
because
I'm not judging Potter till next season.
I'm not gonna blame I'm not gonna get at a manager for backing his players in the press room. You don't know what they're doing in the dressing room.
Are you gonna back him for putting Broja Mount and Blunt Mount?
Gallagher? No, that was a terrible front three. That was terrible.
Everyone's been crying for.
You can criticize that. That's fair enough. I'm talking about the in-out debate. Criticism is different. Criticize what you want to criticize.
It's hard. It's hard to separate from it's hard to separate those two.
You're
saying you're saying you can criticize, but at the same time, what's the criticism you give him? What's the criticism of? Is that his first mistake? Remember, he used to be acknowledging, saying, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, and I should have changed the sub in the midfield in the halftime. Remember that?
Yes. The United game.
Why not acknowledging the mistake and just do something about it during the game?
Did you not speak about playing that front three?
Alex, because he's missed on every one of the lineups. So he'd have to admit to making a mistake on every one of the lineups he's put out there. Again, I don't care about the lineups. Can somebody please point me to a style of football, please?
We don't have any.
Yeah,
we don't
mistake.
have any, Josh. We don't.
Listen, Dan's here. Dan's here. I love Dan. I respect his opinion on football. Dan, we were banging on about Tuchel not being able to. What style of play are we playing right now? Please, something. We're not doing anything that is remotely resembling some sort of specific style or pattern of play. We're just throwing 11 guys out there and saying, "Fuck it, let's see what happens."
But what can these players do, Josh?
I think that's harsh on Potter because because Potter is going into a team that can't keep the ball or string 5-10 passes between themselves and asking them to play possession-based football. You can't it's asking for vegan.
Isn't it the same team that used to have 80% of possession?
I think we played pretty good possession-based football under Tuchel. We had the ball 70% of the time.
We did.
What?
Yeah, but even then we were complaining that we weren't doing anything with the possession.
Yeah, no, that's the point. It doesn't excuse one from another.
Right, it's the same shit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, Josh.
I'm just trying to understand that Harry Potter over here with those round glasses saying that Potter went into the team that couldn't get the freaking possession. Is he? Is the players cannot hold the possession? Is that the same players?
So. I believe so. I just honestly to God, I think these players, cannot keep possession for love nor money. Okay,
those are the same players that hold on to possession for 80% last season.
Yeah, but I want to know, what's Potter seen in training? He has so much confidence.
He hasn't even been in training. He hasn't been in training.
Listen.
Watching on the sidelines.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
That's what you used to say. Let me say training. Potter's not even there.
The reality Potter is this, and I hate that our fans go too far with criticism and become Potterod and all that. But in my assessment, certain things we can't do, and we can't do this. All of the players are this or that, because when we paid 20 million to get him out of Brighton, when we paid 60 million to give him his contract, do you fucking think that he thought he was coming here that all the players were shit? Or do you think that he believed that he can get some of these players well? Like, and I felt the exact same way about Tuchel. When Tuchel signed his contract under Roman mid-season, right? You think he was coming here thinking, oh, Roman is going to sell all these guys for me, and then I can start afresh, and then it's going to be brand new. No, I do agree. A lot of these guys need to go. A lot of players need to go.
No, Daniel.
The reality is this: when you sign that contract with 6 games into the season, after we spent 300 million, right,
on replacing the players, most of them,
it doesn't matter when you improve your team, you have to replace players. That's just the way it goes. So replacing players is a problem. That's when you want to improve your team, you can't have a squad of 50 players, right? You have to replace it because you can only have a 25-man squad. So you have to replace players. My point is this, though. When you sign a contract like that, it can't be every player that you didn't sign is a player that we can allow you to not get criticism for the way that they're actually playing. Like Cucurella, this player last year, right? He was left back of the year under him last year. He's been one of the worst I've seen in this year. 1v1, he's cash money, right? So I can criticize you for that. I don't care if you signed him or not. I can criticize you for how he's playing, right? But I can't also blame you for a lot of the problems we have in this team, mainly because the structure of the team wasn't built by him. The quality of the team wasn't built by him. So I can allow certain things to, like, I can understand certain things, right? What I can't understand is going into a game against, a high pressing team, high pressure team with a back line of Aspie, Thiago Silva, and Koulibaly. Every player there is over 31. How are they going to keep up?
my answer to you to that, when we signed Tuchel, all we wanted in the beginning, the acknowledging that we can play better than what Lampard was playing. That's number one. We did not want in the beginning signings, whatever. We just want an improvement from Lampard. That's the fact. Lampard, and the same thing, we won, even though Tuchel wasn't fired for football reasons. And I know that. So that's why I don't think I'm not Potter out, like saying like we need to fire Potter right this second. At least give him, I want to see what he does in the transfer window. If he ignores the midfield, in the January, I'm going to be Potter out without any consequences, even waiting for Jorginho to resign a contract to be Potter out. That's number one. If he ignores the midfield in January, and I believe the January transfer window to build, it's more important to some point than actual summer window.
Mic, bro.
For one specific reason, we might not have same pool in the summertime for some players in summertime as we in January, because technically we're not mathematically out of top 4. So the players could be signed before the summer transfer window. I'm okay signing and let them stay on loan.
No.
We need the players in the midfield to be ready to play now. So I prefer you find somebody in the Premier League that will know. I know it's
cost a lot of money.
Alex,
don't care. Do I care about the money?
Redneck, I agree with the
Alvarez,
last
mate.
point
Bring
that you
Alvarez
made in getting players who, if you're getting players in January, it almost has to be like a surefire thing. But I do not agree with even if we finish 10th, we're still Chelsea and we have a lot of money. And
we're not improving in midfield. We ain't getting 10. We're getting 15.
Hold on, let me finish. Right? You might not get some of the big names that you wanted to get previously, right? Like last year, Frankie de Jong and all these guys said no to Manchester United because they didn't have Champions League football. But Casemiro did it. Anthony did it. Well, it's not a case of every option is closed off. So I would rather, my whole thing is this, is we can't afford to get even one signing wrong.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like what we're at that stage now where we fucked up so much, we can't even get one wrong. So panic buying or rushing things or trying to, you know what I mean, being scared of what might happen in the future and forcing spending maybe 200 million in January trying to get all these players in because we might not make top 4. We're gonna fuck ourselves.
Yeah, I know that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying make him contract obligated in January. I'm not saying sign him in January. I'm saying get him contract obligated, like Liao. If you want Liao in this next year, make a deal. Am I boring you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I want
talk.
Talk. No, so I'm clearing my throat. I'm clearing my throat.
Well, get the fuck out of here if your throat hurts.
Shut
man.
up, Hamish.
Alex, my main question is bring in players to play what kind of football though? Like, because at least under like when Tuchel came in,
big names,
like when Tuchel came in, he at least changed up what we were doing and implemented a style of play, whether it was fit the players or not. We went to a back 3. We went more possession based. We played wide. Like I could actually see a big difference from Lampard when he came in. That's why the team I think played so much better when he came in originally. Potter has come in and done absolutely nothing from a football standpoint as far as the style of play, how he wants his team to look. He's throwing lineups out, just picking like 11 guys out of his ass each week to play, even though they're not performing and haven't been performing all season. I just don't. If I saw, again, I said this the other week, I don't care who he plays. If he implemented a style and tried to force that style upon the players and I could see it week in and week out, I'd be more okay with losing than, say, going out there and just looking like no one has any idea what the fuck they're doing on the pitch. And you still lose. Because now it's well, we lost, but we also have no idea what we're fucking doing on the pitch from a football standpoint. Like it looks so disconjointed.
Like this wasn't happening on the Tuchel as well.
No, I think the issue under Tuchel, there were a couple of things. A lot of off the field stuff, mainly, right? On the field, I agree with you. We were running into an issue where we weren't doing anything attacking wise from a pattern of play standpoint. And I agree with you there. We talked about this towards the end of his reign. I think better players in that standpoint could have made a difference. Right now, if we get better players, I don't know what they would be doing.
We had the problem with Tuchel. At least with Tuchel, we had the problem in offensive zone. Everybody complained we kill in offensive players.
But my thing is, we had, and I made sure to say this every time I was on stream. I felt it was both.
You call it Tuchel.
We conceded 54 goals in 52 games. Like I don't like people gloss over it and say like, oh yeah, our defense was no, it wasn't. Anytime we had a bad game, like it was a bad game. Like it's not a bad game. We lost 1-0. It's a bad game. We got beat 4-0. We got beat 5-0. We got beat 4-1, 3-0, 2-0. You know what I mean? We got dominated. We're winning 1-0 to the last minute, 93rd minute. It's a goal. Right, that happened several times to us where we were winning to the 90th minute, and we still drew because our defense was fragile. Right?
Now, can I ask you a question? Wait, on that, can I ask you
of an attacking team, but we also didn't have an identity of a defensively strong team. Like if it was true terrorism where we could win 1-0 and the team couldn't score, sure. But over the last year, anybody could score against us. Any single person.
No. I'm gonna ask you a quick question, okay? If we had the same defenders, the exact same defenders, and we had
big up troops,
City, and let's just say
dunking on us again. My guy, big up. Sorry, bro. Bro.
Let's say we had Manchester City's midfield. Do you think that we'll be conceding as many goals?
No and yes. Maybe not as many goals, but we're still going to be conceding goals because when you break it down, we had the same, what do you call it? And this is like from people who love Tuchel, who rated that midfield as the best in the world. Big up troops. Which was only really good when Conte was there. If Conte is not there, our midfield is shit. But beyond that, if you replace the midfield and you still have a 32-year-old Aspi playing right center back for you, you still have Thiago Silva, 38, playing center back for you. You still have Koulibaly, who, listen, and I was one of the people who said, He's gonna come in. He's world class and all of this. And I'm quick. Second game, I'm asking people. I'm asking Alex, so yo, what's up with this guy? What is he doing? This guy's a bozo. He is not the guy from what I've seen. He's playing bozo-like behavior. Like maybe he can't keep up with the pace or whatever it is. If you still have those guys playing and you want to play a high-pressing attacking system, it's not going to work. The same way under AVB, it couldn't work with, I think, better players, but the same level of speed and age and everything else. We had an old-ass team during that time, right? And if you're trying to play a system where everybody presses, everybody is involved in this type of energy, high, blah, 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 it can work when half your team is super old. Like when everybody's fit and you're starting with Thiago Silva and Koulibaly.
Is it me or his Wi-Fi is going mad?
Yeah,
Daniel, your Wi-Fi's going in and out. I thought it was my laptop.
I thought it was mine again. I don't know. Even though I don't have a Wi-Fi.
But my point is this: you can't have those old guys in there if you're in the rebuilding phase. We should have got rid of them Lampard's time.
We should have.
Yeah, but Dan, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons AVB got hosed is because he tried to phase out all the old players, and they weren't having that shit, man.
The first thing he did was reinstate all the old players that Lampard wanted out.
Yeah.
All back in.
All I wanted to know, Daniel, do you think we could play better with players we have right now than what we do?
Not if he's trying to play his style of football. No, he can't.
But do you see his style right now?
I haven't. I don't see.
Exactly.
That's what I asked Dan. I'd love to hear what.
I know exactly what his style is because we saw his style for 4 years at Brighton. He's a manager who has a style, right? So if he's not implementing his style.
Well, what is it?
Okay, yeah, please tell me what's his style even in
Brighton?
Brighton?
4 years.
Well, hold on. You saw his style against Brighton: high pressing, high chance creation, right? Malleable players. Possession-based players. They were top 3 every single year in possession under him. They were top 3 in chance creation every single year under him, right? And defensively, they were very solid. So my thing is, I know what his style is. If it's not working here, I think it's because you're going to play a pressing system, right? And you're pressing with only 3 players. Why he played Broha, Gallagher, and Mount was to press the fuck out of them. But you know where he fucked up? They were the only ones pressing. We're pressing in their half. If I give you any picture of our press, it's 3 players pressing them, and they're not bad players. They're going to pass out of that. They're going to pass out of those 3 players every time. So he's confused. He wants to play a controlled, kind of like a Real Madrid style with the older players where they just control everything and find openings when they find openings. And then he also wants to play a high energy, young system where they're just pressing the fuck out of you and give you no time and space and chaos. How Newcastle play against us? Basically that. Yeah. So he wants to do that, but he wants to do it with players like that can't even do it, talk us of doing it to high quality.
I know what he did in Brighton. I don't see not even a slight attempt what he does at Chelsea.
I'll be honest,
I see what you're saying. This is more like explanation for his starting lineup than actual tactical starting. This is what people saying that think that explains the start lineup. Okay, doesn't.
Alex, I've spoken a lot. Let me just say one last thing that shows the point I'm trying to make. It was against Arsenal, right? Aubameyang playing on that center forward. His job was to be the center forward, but drift left as well. That requires a lot of energy to get out wide, help Cucurella on the left, give him an option, and drift inside. So go back and forth, back and forth. When I was watching the game, I knew that's what he wanted him to do. But I know he can't do it. He's 33. There's no way in hell he can do it, right? So even a player to even do that, not do it to the highest level. And this is why Tuchel was always playing Werner. Because Werner was low quality, but tactically he did what Tuchel wanted him to do every single time, which is road run and drift out wide and running behind energy, press all the time, blah, blah, blah. He was doing it, but he's just a shit player. Right? The difference is the players we have aren't even doing it, talk less of doing it to low quality. Like, if we put somebody else doing this job, it'll be better. Like if I put Jesus in the job Aubameyang was doing, he could do that. You know what I'm saying? Is this you can't have a player 33 doing the
Cobbs or a player 31.
So basically, you
But
saying
what about our
we need
young
to
players,
wait.
Dan? But Dan, you're not talking about our young players. Though. What about our young generational talented players who are supposed to be
We
behind
don't
them?
have
Why aren't they
generational
doing that?
talents, and we get into this
Oh, I thought we did.
all this fucking agenda based shit where it's like, well, he's this, he's that. The fact of the matter is this: when we sign a lot of these guys, you guys put them on that level. When the club signed them,
who's
when the
you?
club brought some of these guys in, I'm talking about the fan base.
Yeah, true.
Put them on that level.
No,
And
true.
they never said they were. They're not even getting paid
Yeah,
like
but
that.
But
Mount
Mount's your
didn't
boy,
call
though.
himself
Mount's your boy.
young Cruyff.
Hey,
Mount didn't
hey,
call
can I-
himself young Cruyff.
Hey, can I
By
ask?
the way,
instead of how Daniel described
one second,
about
one
Aspie's
second,
position,
one second, guys. Matt and the
Alright.
guy under him. My apologies. I just fucking lose it with this Chelsea team. So you got the end of it. My bad. Shouldn't said it what I said.
What did you say?
Move on.
yeah,
I
Dan,
said
was gonna ask,
apologies
how
for
you
getting
described
off
about
of you
Oh
for
no,
no
yeah,
reason.
good.
how you described about Aspie's position. I mean, Chalobah's played there too. Does it not work with him?
Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't like if we were gonna play four at the back with sort of a transitional maybe three in attack, like Chalo makes sense to play on that right back spot. He's played it before at Lorient. Like he's not any worse than Asby, put it that way, at least certainly from a defensive standpoint. Like I don't know why he hasn't tried that yet, to where you'd have like say Chalo, Silva, Koulibaly, and Cucurella as your back four. But for me yesterday, like if you wanted to say, okay, he started Mountain Gallagher because he was gonna try to pack the midfield and give them problems in the midfield, I could see that, but that's not what happened. They didn't do that at all. Like Mount and Gallagher was running around a little bit, and I think he actually is a better presser and runner around, if you want to say that, than Mount is. But to have them both in there, neither one of them was really pressing the midfield at all. Like they certainly weren't doing it as a unit. And then the problem is what happens.
You can't just press with 2 or 3 players. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Dan.
but
Like,
why did he start it? Why did he start? What's his name? Why did he start the other two, the lazy one and dumb one?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like he's confused.
You mean Jorginho?
What do you want to do? Do you want to?
I refuse to say his name from now on.
If you want to be high pressing, if you want to be high pressing, you have to have high energy everywhere. When those guys were pressing us, Newcastle. Look at the players Newcastle has. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Like there's nothing about energy. They got the energy, but they're still shit. You gotta be good.
You're not listening to me. Look at the players Newcastle has.
No, I wasn't responding.
What's his name? Longstaff. These are low quality players who pressed the fuck out of us and continually won the ball. They won the ball.
Yeah,
they wanted it.
You know what? I don't know why you give them so good on their praise. They didn't have to press. We were that bad. They just kept us in the box.
No,
you make it out like they pressed us out of the game. They didn't. We were on the back foot. We couldn't even get out of a half.
They were camping. Listen, in their half, they only had their 3 center backs, so like three players, right?
There was a big gap between the pressing.
The rest of them were in our half, right?
See,
while the opposite was we only had 3 players in their half. There's a difference.
Yeah, there's the difference to press Chelsea versus to press the other team. For example, if you press, you don't have to press a lot of players to actually get possession out of Chelsea. All you have to do, not even press close enough, you just have to approach the player, and he will automatically go to defender. People don't understand it. Like, I know what you like about this guy, that he controls the ball, but please watch when he gives ball away, passing to the player, the presser that presses him presses the other player with the bigger force. For one reason, because he always gives the ball to up like in the pass and the short distance. For example, when Jorginho holds the ball, he holds the ball for so long that when he passes, the guy that presses Jorginho does not stop. He just runs to the to what's his name?
Yeah, they jog at Jorginho. They jog at Jorginho to get him to pass and then sprint at the guy he passes to.
They jog to Jorginho and then they sprint to the other player because
they know where it's going.
Chalobah is not that good under a ball like Jorginho is, so he has to go long. So with people saying that we play long ball, we're not. It was not attempt, and I know that it was not attempt for us to play long ball.
They made us do that.
It made us do that, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why you press, and that's why he does to Mendy.
Guess what I noticed as well? I noticed this as well. And I was mentioning on like a space when we were watching the game. I'm like, look at how many times they're gonna pass back to Mendy. Then
Exactly.
they're gonna tell me Mendy has terrible to the back. Why the fuck do you keep passing it back to him every time?
That's bad hard.
Yeah, I don't even think he passed forward back then.
Taliban's in trouble. If Taliban's in trouble, pass to Mendy. If Jordan's in trouble, pass to Mendy. If this guy's in, pass to Mendy.
The Brighton I remember, right, is solidly defensively sound, plays out from the back, and only presses you when they're in your half. This is the Brighton I remember, right? This is the Potter Brighton. They're not Liverpool where they press you all the time, right? How you've been saying it. We play out the back. Brighton played out the back. It's very similar to what we did with Tuchel, right? It's just that he's more direct. This is the style of play that was at Brighton. I think we saw a glimpse of it when he came in, when we were playing similar to Tuchel, and then we played a bit direct. And everyone was saying, yeah, look how he's playing now. We all got excited about it. This is something more. Sterling called in sick. They don't want to get injured at the World Cup. I knew this play. I knew Kovacic wasn't going to have a good game. He didn't want to get injured for the World Cup. The players that were leaving didn't want to get injured. Didn't have something on their mind, right? You're never going to see that from them. But there's a decline in this team. We're not an 8th, 9th position team, right? You can say these players are bad. They're not this bad, right? We actually played better, and we've declined as he's come in. Has he lost some of the trust of these players? Is he playing some of these? How Josh brought up the lineup is different all the time, is because I think he's fallen out with some of these players. The players that we got in.
Well,
the point I'm trying to make is that
that'll be very problematic.
This is not Brighton's part of team that you're going for, right? I got criticized here, and I'm going to be the last person to be part out too, right? The same way. It's going to be deja vu, how I was with defending Tuchel, right? But it's going to be such a change that it's not going to be solved in January. I know everyone's hoping on January, but the question I have to look at is, has Potter lost some of these players? I mean, if he has, then there's maybe not this.
That is very
wait for the review process.
We're getting stories out right now that certain players already.
I haven't read anything, by the way. Just putting it out.
Well, I mean, you got to pay attention.
You
got to pay attention and read. Simon Phillips has come out and said that a lot of these guys you're hearing behind the scenes, they're not happy at Chelsea. Nothing to do with Potter. They've not been happy for a while, and they want to go. In the summertime, Pulisic wanted to go. We knew Ziyech wanted to go, and now we're hearing Kovacic wants to leave. I've been saying from fucking 8 months ago, Mount wants to leave. All these guys want to leave anyway. So if we want to, we're at a stage where I don't think he's lost the dressing room or he's done anything to lose players. I just think it's time for us to do what we should have done when Lampard came in and get everybody out of there.
Well,
Daniel, but you said it, Dan. If that's true, what you said, then half the dressing room is lost before Potter come in, and is lost, and he's getting the repercussions of it as well. Then we have to take that into account and say these players aren't playing for the badge or the club or Potter or whatever reason, right? And hold out till they're gone.
I can see
but
that.
declared he's doing the same. And here's my issue with the line. So a guy like Lewis Hall, right, absolutely earned another start in that game, right? But I could say the exact same thing for Dennis Zakaria. His first game was incredible. He earned a start in that Arsenal game, and he didn't play him. And then he didn't. He plays him in what was it? Was it the Zagreb? What was the game after that he started?
Zagreb.
Yeah. Okay. So Man City in the cup, right?
Oh yeah.
So he starts that game. I thought he played okay. He gave us a dimension in the midfield that we don't have.
He wasn't under pressure. He was struggling too a little bit.
Yeah, but he wasn't like losing the ball. Like they were running at him, but he was holding his own. He was standing up defense. I thought he gave us
losing. Do you remember that pass that he sent it all the way back into?
Josh, do you know why I'm not killing Potter? Because I feel like even if he makes all the right decisions in a starting lineup, we can still lose. We're still not
Dan, and I'm okay, but I'd be okay with that. Like so, like what I'm saying.
Like we're being paid, right? It's like if you're gonna listen. My thing is, if you're gonna get knocked out either way, it doesn't matter if it's the first round or the fifth round. You're still getting knocked out. So my thing is, right? Yeah. I would like for him to use this moment because I do think we're probably going to finish 8th or like less. Use this moment to develop, younger players, right?
Sure.
To push whatever philosophy you're trying to push to those younger players. And
Agreed.
then summertime, you can go out and sign whoever you want to sign because it's going to be a wasted year playing Aspen.
I agree.
You learn nothing from playing Aspen, and you gain nothing.
Dan, I completely agree. I'm just not seeing that consistent. That's all I want. Listen, I said it a million times. I'm okay losing if you are demanding and implementing a style of football that you're forcing on the players. I'm okay with that, but I need a consistency. Like again, Lewis Hall.
Not a given time, bro. 2 months. It's only been 2 months.
I don't know, Dan. We played a lot of games, Dan.
For me, like I've just got such little faith in this squad.
I think,
squad's rubbish, man.
A World Cup helps for everyone.
We weren't good on the Tuchel either. I didn't know
It's the same thing. That's why it's not a managerial problem. It's
the period of break we have now in the World Cup is equivalent. You could almost say that equivalent to a pre-season anyway. So I believe that will give him enough time.
More players. I don't know if that.
The majority of our best players won't even be there.
Time to plan more, giving time to plan more without having the stress of having a game every 3 days or every odd day.
Do you know what?
I'm not saying he has no blame or there's nothing he can do, but all I'm saying is we can't be this harsh when we come on here every time and say it doesn't matter who starts. Everyone has an agenda on this player or that player. They're all shit.
I have no agenda to know.
I'm just saying most people will say if this guy says Mount is shit, this guy will say Pulisic is shit, or this guy will say Havertz is shit.
No, I hear you, bro.
You're right. That happens way.
So they'll run through all those players and then come back and say, if only he played this player that I think is shit anyway. Come on, it doesn't make sense.
Give me a second, guys. Just before you go, I'm going to read a couple of the super chats. I'll throw it back to you. Felix says, what are the expectations for the season? How many players can you bin in January? Unlikely we'll bin any. How many can you bring in? Probably a midfielder, maybe wing back depth. I wouldn't really expect much more other than that because it is only January. I just want to see at least a midfielder come in. Shady Nation says the coaching is a problem. No, our players are shit, man. Why do people act like we were fucking brilliant all through 2022? We've been arse all year, bro. David says, I don't mind people saying we give Potter time, but let's not act like our passing through the press, creation has not worsened. On the manager, has it worsened or was it just the same way it has been on
the same shit? It's the same.
The lack of motivation.
We weren't passing through the press well under Tuchel. Our creation was never good in the last few weeks.
Probably
we just had more possession.
It's the same shit.
We've even declined.
If Ziyech is not on it, if Bearman probably not on it, like they're probably just can't be asked no more.
To what Dan was saying, like I agree that happens way too much in the fan base where people will say they'll see someone play and they'll say, oh, this guy stinks. Oh no, but this guy stinks. That's disgusting behavior. I hate that.
Yeah.
My thing is what I look for as a fan in the lineup, and I don't really honestly have an agenda for any of these players. I look for consistency from a manager, right? Even if I was a player in the team, that's what I would expect of my manager. At least let's have some consistency, right? So you'll have guys like a Pulisic, right, who will have a really good game, he'll play really well, he'll score, and then he'll get benched for like 2 games, 3 games. And then you'll have a guy say, and listen, Mason Mount probably the most polarizing player in this club for whatever reason, because I think he objectively has been atrocious this year. Atrocious. I don't think he's been good at all. But he continuously gets runouts, right? So if I'm looking at that as another player, and I'm like, what the fuck do I have to do? This guy he's in the team every week, and he's been terrible. Even he made the joke, oh, wow, the team gets on me about winning these man of the matches because I haven't been that great, and I still get them. Like, even he knows subconsciously, I'm not playing that well. Like,
Josh, he likes to play football, though.
Wait, hold on. Right? Because
let me ask you. Okay, no.
What was that, Dan? What? I'm sorry.
Has Sterling been good this year?
No, I don't think he's been good at all. I think he's been asked to do some different things, but I think in general, he has not been good this year.
But we know in this team, nobody plays what they're supposed to play. So everybody has the same problems, right?
Listen, that's fair too. But
you're doing the same thing, Daniel. You said that other fans do.
But no. What do you mean doing the same thing other fans do? What I was saying is this: when a player starts or doesn't start, it's gonna be, oh, this guy should start instead. He's great. When he starts and plays the exact same way, then the fans of the other players say, no, he should start instead. I'm saying it doesn't fucking matter who starts.
Daniel, just on this one, yeah?
Sure.
And because you can't just say he changes his team a lot, there's no consistency, and then the players that don't get played are going to look at the players that start with a bit of him. Every person has pretty much gotten a chance, hence why Lewis Hall got a second start. Everyone's going to get an opportunity when he keeps chopping and changing, but they need to change.
I don't think that's necessarily
when did
true. I don't think
opportunity.
I don't think he's given anyone really a run of games.
When did Zakaria got the opportunity?
Like Sterling has absolutely gotten a run of games and has done he's and Dan, he's not a bad player, but this season he's been his 1v1 is terrible. His creativity has been terrible.
Since Carter came in, he's been one of our worst forwards.
No question. Yep. No question.
Right?
No question.
But the reality is, well, like I tell you guys, I felt the same way about the goalkeeper situation. It's not about switching out in, out in, out. Like I remember last season when Arteta was playing the same team every game, and I'm like, yo, listen, this soccer guy, I don't know about this guy. This Martinelli guy, he's having a shit game, but he still plays every single fucking game, right? And now the following year, because they've built this young team with a certain level of consistency and gone through their bad moments, these guys still have bad games, game from game. There are games where I watched where even against us, Saka didn't have a good game, did he? Was he world class? No, he wasn't. But guess what? They still won, right? They're not relying on him to be a savior every game because that's what happens with players. Sterling is going to have a bad game, right? Saka or whoever is going to have a bad game, but your team should be good enough that you're not relying on if this guy turns up and gives you an 8 or a 9. And the problem with Chelsea is we've been that team for so long where it's been one player coming in, lifting the level of every other person, right? Yeah. And to actually do that, it has to be an all-timer. The two all-timers who've done that for us is Conte, one of the greatest, midfielders in Premier League history, and Hazard, one of the greatest wingers in Premier League history. We don't have all-timers in our team. So
no question.
We need to build a better, and this was always going to happen. It's happened to every other team. Manchester United, Liverpool, all these teams, it's happened to them. Now it's happening to us. If we don't do the right things in terms of building a squad that makes sense, that has the same philosophy, the same goal, not a disjointed, some guys are old and want to play slow and keep the ball. Some guys are young and have a lot of energy and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't make sense. We have to at least have a direction that we're actually going that makes sense, not just scatterbrain everywhere. It doesn't.
Daniel, at least I saw what kind of system Arteta wanted to play from the beginning.
I know you didn't.
Yeah.
When Arteta came in, he was playing counter-attacking football.
But why are we comparing?
No. When he started to play Saka and Martinelli in it.
Well, they have no
I knew
that
which way he was going.
No, but you knew which way.
I don't get this comparison. Why is it?
Ironically or unironically, you knew which way he was going after he got Partey. Before he got Partey, he was a very, very, very counter-attacking team. Those guys were counter-attacking the whole way through, and it was dreadful football.
Yeah,
right? He was just trying to get results. Now, once he got the base or the structure of his team set, he plays the same way, almost the same. Even now, almost the same lineup every game.
But not at the start, Dan.
Well,
he got burnt first before he started playing counter-attacking football, and probably Potter's going to end up in that same. In the same position as well, where he's going to think, I can't play the way we don't even know. Josh has been asking what way we're going to play, but we're going to find ourselves playing counter-attacking football because of the position we're in. But I wanted to see, I'm still waiting to see, because that's what, Josh is hitting the nail on the head with this one, consistency, but consistency in a system as well. So if there's a role, you can have a bad game. You can have, look, you said a player can have a bad game. I know he had a bad game because he didn't play the role of that system well, right? But each week, I'm not sure what role each player is going to play because he's changed it up. He's mixed it up. We don't know what he's meant to do and how he's meant to have a bad game when we don't even know how we're meant to be playing. So
listen,
he needs to find that.
I'm okay with the occasion, like Dan's like, I'm okay with the occasional bad game. It's 8, 9, 10 bad games in a row where you're still playing. Like, that's where I have a problem. Like Sterling, like Dan said, under Potter, by far, I think, our worst attacker. He's been that bad. But there are guys in this team. There are guys in this team that like at least gives consistent effort. which is something if you're going to be limited talent wise, at least consistent effort. I would expect.
Who's that, Josh? Josh, who's that? I don't see any effort.
I think Conor Gallagher has been consistent, given a consistent effort this season as far as like midfield attack guys.
Is that job stand?
No, I'm not saying just work hard. I think he's like consistently shown he can pick a pass out. He's energetic. He has a final third pass in him. Man, it's tough because a lot of these guys haven't gotten a consistent run of play. We've played a lot of the same guys, so it's hard to say. But I want to see for as much shit as Pulisic gets, he's our per 90 leader in goals and assists this season. He's got the highest GA per 90 this season. He's played 700 minutes less than Mason Mount this season. 700. It's to me that is insane. Like I just listen. Mason is a good young kid. He seems like a good guy. I don't think he offers this football team any. Like Dan saying, if his
Those
head
are
is
so cringe, Josh.
I'm sorry.
You don't
Listen,
have to say it, Josh. Just
don't
say it, man.
Dan was saying.
Josh, all
Dan
you
was
have to
saying-
say is he's a good human being, and you've just
Yeah,
mimicked Potter in the press conference.
Yeah, he's a nice kid. What Dan was saying, if his head is really looking to go elsewhere, I hope he fulfills that dream because he is nowhere near. If he wants Reece James money, he's got a lot of work to do, man. A lot of work. This is my problem. This is my problem with using him as one of those pressers. Well, this is my problem with using him as one of those guys who presses. Is okay, he can press and he can turn the ball over, but then he is so limited talent-wise from a creation standpoint that once it's turned over, what does he do with it? He can't. His head is down all the time.
When you do the back and forth, right? It's going to be a response just like this. Pulisic came up for 45 minutes. What chances did he create?
He created one chance. He had one. That's one more than Mason had.
That's one. You see, you see what I'm saying?
Right. Listen, it's not great either. No, Dan, I'm not saying. I'm not saying he was.
No, hold on. My point is this,
okay,
right?
good.
Is because people have ascribed this because this is what they want to do, even though they know that Mason will play in 5 different positions every fucking year. Right, but then they'll still say, oh yeah, he's playing in the forward positions, or he's playing as the forward, or he's the main creator. He's this. Last season he was playing right forward the whole season, right, or most of the season. He was right forward.
He's a bit all over the place, but yeah,
that was mainly right forward, right. When
he's in the front three, the right side of the front three. Yeah.
It's the excuse.
Okay.
Let him land.
So whoever plays right forward should have the same production level that he does, right?
Yeah, with a consistent amount of minutes, Dan. I'm sorry. If he has 700-800 minutes more than somebody, I'm not going to judge them the same. I'm just not.
But it doesn't matter. But he has 800-700 minutes for a reason, though.
Well, I would say that could be debated. I don't know what the reason is.
Hold on. You're counting 90 minutes in Zagreb when he played center mid. You're counting 180 minutes against AC Milan when he played center mid. Can Pulisic play center mid?
I think he can effectively play in that 10. I honestly do.
Center mid. I'm sorry.
Dan, I don't know. I haven't seen Mason Mount play well in center mid. So
he didn't play well against AC Milan.
Well, no. Listen. The people will point to the Milan games, and I'll say this:
I'm not talking about the games in terms of quality. I'm saying roles. The reason he plays so many minutes is because he can play in a lot of different places. So when he's playing center mid or he's playing double pivot against Zagreb, Pulisic is not going to play in those games.
No, not in double. No, listen, and I'm not saying if Mason's playing in the midfield. If he's playing in the midfield, then I don't.
You're comparing an apple to an orange. You can compare Havertz maybe because he only plays.
It says Mount was in the front. It said Mount was in the front three against Milan.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. Why are we talking Mount at center mid?
Do you want to look up his heat map just really quickly?
But that doesn't.
if you know where I can find it, sure.
You can find it on any site, SofaScore, whatever site.
If he's in the front three,
that's position. Dan, the reason I compare
roles, right? You guys tell me on one end you don't understand the role that he's playing, and then you are adamant that he's in the front three. If you're a front three player, players have to create for you, right? Because you're in the front three. They have to give you chances so you can score. Right, but
maybe
he's the one who's supposed to create and score. So
I can see.
is he midfield? Is he in the front three? Is he?
I think that argument works if you're like a. So for me, Okay, go ahead. Well, so for me, like guys like guys like Aubameyang and Broja, the reason I have issues getting on them is because those guys do rely on those other wingers to create for them. They do. And my problem with Potter mainly, and even with Tuchel at a certain point, is that in positions where it behooves you to have a natural winger, he will put Mason Mount or he'll put a midfielder there. And unfortunately, that does take away from your offensive game. Like for every flaw that Pulisic has, he is a natural winger. Like that. So the things that you would ask a winger to do on the pitch, he is capable of doing. He can create on his own. He can dribble. He can take guys on. He can pass. He can finish.
But Josh, that's you putting your idea of how you want the team to play.
No question. Yeah, it is.
The same way that I remember I used to come on here all the time and say 4-3-3, 4-3-3. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? Right? And the reality is, if you're in your mind,
he's usually around centre mid, right wing role.
I think there's a wider problem.
Like his role is different. When other players play, you see what their heat map is. So if you're asking him to play there, he's not going to be a winger for you.
Well,
I don't think heat map is the right way to analyze a player's position.
I don't think Mason Mount is the sole problem. I mean, don't worry about the heat map.
Well, he is one of the main problems. He is part
main
of the
problem.
Nah, he's not. No, he's
so if Mason Mount doesn't play, are we okay?
I said it's part of the problem. One of the main problems.
If Mason Mount does not play, right? Are we all right? I mean, the team.
Yes.
Is the team good enough to carry one
We'll
player?
still be shit. We'll still be shit. Mason Mount in or out, we'll still be shit. There's no difference.
I think Mount has really dominated a lot of conversations.
Free a spot.
I mean,
has to come in.
Wasn't it? I understand. Hold on a second. I understand.
A spot has been opened every single year for people to take Mount's spot. Every year they've bought
free managers for 3 years.
Every year. But his first season, no. Before he even came in, they bought Pulisic. Then he came in. After that, they got Werner, Havertz, and Ziyech. He's never been guaranteed a spot. The problem that happens is when we buy these guys, we make terrible fucking signings, right? And then he ends up playing either way.
Well, I think some of that is true, Dan, and I think some of that is like I think the club.
You said if he leaves, he's going to open up a spot. Open up a spot.
Why the manager isn't dropping him? We'll just say, but we're arguing that now. Why isn't the manager giving these other players chances?
That's what even the managers that you guys.
Why has three managers
so much prop
been picking Mount too much?
But when Tuchel came out and said it, from
Lampard to Tuchel to now Potter.
Where are those managers?
Mount's a PR stunt. You drop Mount, the fans get angry. The fans get angry.
So is our team selection all based on PR now?
Because Mount's a PR stunt.
No, man.
You drop Mount's the
manager. Right? This whole team is an issue. You guys have been stuck on one player for ages.
It's not just one player, Declan.
No, the whole, it's everywhere. Social media, everything. Everyone talks. There's a massive.
Listen.
There's also massive hype up about Mount. There's also a lot of hate about Mount. And I'm here sitting. I'm here wondering if Potter's lost the dressing room, and you guys worrying about Mount only, bro. You know, Sterling called in sick on the last game. Yeah. You know, you asked about Zachariah. He's going to the World Cup too. He probably didn't want to play too. Cucurella said he was sick too. He's going to the World Cup. He sat on the bench. These players didn't want to play.
Cucurella is not going to the World Cup.
Yeah, Cucurella is not going to the World Cup.
He's not going? He called in sick. I thought he was in Spanish team. My bad.
But he played.
Yeah, but declared in fairness, he's called in sick the last 9 weeks. Like
Listen, like we're all arguing about something that doesn't matter.
Messi and Di Maria started doing the same thing too.
I think we're all arguing about something that doesn't matter because I do genuinely believe Mount is going to leave. Right. The problem with that is you're still going to have players in the team like Loftus-Cheek, like Kepa, like Georgie. You're gonna have these guys still in the team, so it doesn't. Like
that's what the thing. We're gonna get a big overhaul.
Hold on a second. Is Para has responsibility for that, for keeping Robin Loftus-Cheek?
How?
By extending the contract.
Potter didn't extend his contract.
Well, that's
no. I'm saying if he's not happy with Robin Loftus-Cheek, does that mean that he can get rid of him too? Right?
100%.
So if Robin Loftus-Cheek is still in the team, why is not is the Potter should be under pressure for it? Because Bolly and one of the commentaries said literally every player is gonna have to be going through contract and stuff through the Harry Potter. That's why I said if we sign if Jorginho gets the extension to contract, I'm Potter out. So, but what you just said, if we sell Mount, that we keep Robin Loftus-Cheek, is Potter supposed to be responsible for that?
Yes, same way
Okay.
Tuchel was responsible. Like, why do you think I love this? I don't care about this guy like that, but I have to be fair. Truthfully, if I wanted to be petty, I would say that he's had the worst run with a better team than Lampard did, and we wanted Lampard to be perfect the moment he came in, right? He never had this fucking run.
I understand what you're saying. Even with Lampard, I knew what
I can
system.
do the back and forth pettiness and say,
Even
"Oh yeah,
Lampard, I
that's
knew
not
the
my
system.
point. No, but it doesn't matter, right? My point is this: I can get at Potter and say, we killed Lampard, or the fan base killed Lampard every game for his decision making with the far worse team than we have now, right? He still made top 4. He still did what he had to do, and when he had a run that wasn't as bad as this, he got fired. Potter has broken the record that no other manager in the last 5 managers has broken in terms of losing. And I'm still saying, give him the ability to make decisions on this squad. Give him time to be able to establish his style of play. And after this year, if I go into next year and I'm seeing this, you know how I roll. I'm not going to be back.
I don't blame you, Dan. That's how we
I'm
should
gonna
all
give
like.
him
If
the
he come
time,
January,
After he's had a window and I can start to see him build a team, if we're doing the same old shit, I'm the same energy too.
Yeah,
I hear
he
that.
needs
I
to
just
start
think
getting
right
rid
now
of
the
guys,
players are
100%.
a bigger problem.
It's just being petty, bro.
Yeah,
I'll be petty
100%.
if I'm doing that.
For me, I'm gonna decide then after the January transfer market.
He
If we're not signing single one midfielder, oh, I'm gonna be so.
I think it's
loud.
more about getting players out as well, not just bringing them in.
No.
A lot of these players
That's
let
one.
go.
For me, no, Matt. For me, it's one of the most critical position in this team.
I don't
I
disagree.
agree with Alex.
Hey, we was
midfield and
I think
attack.
our top priority
straight
is
in for a
getting midfielders
midfielder,
in.
right?
Matt, I don't
No, but we all heard that we're going straight in for a midfielder in January anyway. So I expect
The thing is, we know the midfield's bad though, Lewis. We know the midfield's bad. It's just to acknowledge that the attack is as well. You get a new midfield, you get a new attacker.
Yeah, but the midfield's a bigger problem.
Well, all in
Yeah,
January.
100%.
So hold on, but why are we talking about who's going to sign attackers? We know how owners operate, and Cuckoo has been talked about for about a month by the highest journalist that we all trust. We know he's coming. Talking about the attack is pointless, right? Other areas in our team don't even get looked at whatsoever, and we know how our signings have turned out. I'll probably say out of the last 5 windows, probably 2 players I'm looking at like this was 100% win. Some other players just like maybe 20%, 50% win, but a majority of them trash. So I'm worried about our signings. I'm heavily worried.
I want Lavia.
Oh,
I don't
Lavia
want
looks
Mexican
good.
guy.
We're not the only one. It seems like our club is obsessed with this.
No, when I saw that article, I start to look up look for the kid. I see it.
I mean, listen,
I see it.
I
just don't know if we get outpriced in January.
Hold on, the same way I feel about Rice prior is how I feel about this Lavia kid. I don't want the fan base to kill him because I genuinely think he's the one we've chosen and we're going to go for.
I think he has. I think he's a young player. He has mistakes, but
don't compare him to Kakare or
you
know, Enzo or any guy that you like. He's the one that we've chosen. Get over it and just back him because for some reason I like this kid. It doesn't make sense to me because he has like half a year in the Premier League and we're trying to get him for 50 mil. I don't like it, but they can do what they do, man. It is what it is.
I just need to go through a few of these super chats quick. No one says if these Newcastle players are given to Steve Bruce or Pardew, do you think they'll play the same way? Mandra is a major part everywhere, period. I'm all in for the process, but start with Spalletti, Enrique, or Flick, please. I get what you're saying with Bruce or Pardew, but that is a massive drop-off from the likes of Eddie Howe. And like from Tuchel to Potter, it's like you've gone from one of the best in the world to one of the best in the league. From Eddie Howe to Steve Bruce, you're going from one of the best in the league to one of the worst in the league. It's a much different drop-off. WRX says reports saying brand new elite stadium rebuild the Else Court. Sooner the better. All here for it. Shady Nation says cap them guys, run their socks off intensity.
So about the attack.
Yeah, that's all they fucking do. Shady also again says Mount is the death of Lamps and Tuchel. Potter is next.
I mean, well, if Mount continues to play like this and plays him,
And hold on a second. There's another manager. It's an England manager. He could be the death of England man.
No. You can't blame. He can't blame. Southgate has got Foden, Maddison, Grealish, bruv. It's not.
But so they're all better than him. They're all better than him.
He's
one
not.
more super chat, guys. CNAC says you're getting off topic with what's a real problem. Midfield is shit, and we don't have a minimum 2 creators in the squad. Potter needs to improve, but focus on the major problem. Completely agree. Every single word of that. Midfield has to be
Daniel, you don't like Lavia at all, or you don't like the 50?
I don't like the price. I don't like.
Oh.
I don't like the price, and you come in. And listen.
Ruben Neves, great shout, Shady Nation.
We are one of the most toxic clubs.
McAllister, I think, is a good shout as well.
We're one of the most toxic clubs in Premier League history, man. Listen, when you come to this club,
I wouldn't say so.
Your mental needs to be. You're
missing Arsenal and Man United.
I said one of, brother. I'm not saying we are the most toxic. Arsenal is a very toxic club as well, but we're up there. When you come here as a player, your mind needs to be a steel trap. You have to be mentally very, very strong. An 18-year-old coming here and getting that type of pressure with the way that our fan base reacts to players who don't play well. If he's not good very fast, he's going to get destroyed, right? And I don't want that.
It's not just our fan base. It's not just our fan base. It's any fan base at the highest level of football that is ambitious and wants to win trophies. Yeah. Go to Bayern Munich.
Stupid addictive.
If you start putting in stinkers, I'm telling you this now, they'll be onto because they expect better. It's
no, but you got Barcelona. Fatty still, and Fatty hasn't played in 2 years. Like
Barcelona, I hate him.
No. But look at Camavinga, right? Camavinga came in and he was probably at a better stage than Lavia is now when he went there, and he's had 2 years of basically just having time to get used to things, to get better. The Real Madrid fans were saying a little bit about them early on, him and Tchouaméni. They've calmed down now, right? But the point is, when you come to Chelsea at the stage that we are, you're gonna have to be the man. Do I think an 18-year-old or 19-year-old can come in here in midfield and be the man? It's a lot of pressure on them.
By the way, Real Madrid is one of the fickle fans. They turn quick on their players, quicker than anyone.
They do once they become.
That's why I call Chelsea is the
poorest
Real Madrid.
I'm saying once they become important players in the squad, they will turn on anybody if you're an important player in the squad, right? If Lavia is forced, right, just like some other players, he's forced to be the main guy this early. If he doesn't step up to it, it's gonna be, this youth project. We're obsessed with youth. Fuck Chelsea. What are we doing? We're not. And it's like, you do know he's 19. You do know that I don't think he's ready to come in and do that.
That's why we have to ease him slowly, though. That's why Chukwuemeka, these guys, I think they're fantastic. But we're slowly giving them time. We're not rushing because I think honestly with these attackers like Havertz, we rushed them, and that was we got the consequence of that now.
Yeah,
but to give them time, you have to have capable players starting day in, day out, so they can commit. And we don't have that, so you can't give them time. If Lavia comes in, they're going to say, Lavia, you have to start, because if we don't start you, Loftus-Cheek starts.
What is your obsession with Robin Loftus-Cheek? He's
a terrible player, but I'm just saying.
He's rubbish.
What I'm saying is,
how is he still?
Man? I just want the midfielder. That's it.
No, I get you, and I think you're going to get the midfielder. Like everybody's going to get what they quote unquote want. And Kunku's going to sign, maybe not come in now, but he's going to sign, and Lavia is going to come in. I'm just very, very worried about the direction of if you play Lavia next to Kovacic or Lavia next to Georgie, right? And he's doing most of the work.
No. I think if you bring Lavia, you need another young midfielder beside him.
Yeah, but if you just bring him by himself, who's he playing next to?
Well, you bring Alvarez.
Right now,
like if you buy Lavia
in January
and don't buy any other midfielder, who does he play next to in midfield?
I want the young ones, and I want the young, and I will not be upset if I meet. The reason why it will not be. The what?
Who do you think he plays next to if he comes in? Don't you think?
Of course, he's gonna play Fragilinho because he's the one that's gonna stay there.
And who's gonna carry the higher physical burden?
Of course he is.
So do you think he's able to handle that right now?
You think that we're gonna, if he comes, that we're gonna play the same way with him? With
Bro, I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna play. I just know
exactly
that we're gonna. I just know that we're a team that's gonna put the responsibility on them.
Yes, and we should, but not as much responsibility as people think. If you, for example, if Lavia comes in January, the one of the reason why I want is another young midfielder. Build the midfield, put the 3 ones, young ones, and I will not be upset for us midfield splitting is the way it is. You see what I'm saying?
Alex, can I ask you a quick question on the young midfielders? Do you not think it's a big risk at this stage of where we are at the moment?
From what? From get to 8 to 15 in the league? Yeah, it's not a big risk.
No, but if you look at the teams that are above us, well, I'm excluding Brighton and Newcastle because they've just recently, they're on like different stages. You've got Liverpool with an experienced midfield in Thiago and Fabinho.
Are you still have hopes for get top 4? That's what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying. Absolutely, we can still. For me, at this moment in time, we are on what, after 14 games.
We're not playing for top 4. Just
24 points. If we January window is like our August, we can get it if we really focus this January window. As Andrew just said, as this last week, if we make a big window in this January window and treat it like an August, we can maybe make
we can make it. You know how to get players in January? You guys know
we cannot have a big window. No, please don't have a big window.
No one wants to lose their players. I'm not sure who you guys are going to get.
Please don't.
Well, we can.
The recruitment team is just come in. They're going to get the most popular names that they can get instead of getting and then we're going to have the same problem again. Like even a player like Rice, right? I rate this guy super highly. I think he's one of the best DMs in the league.
Yeah, we know.
But if there's a player out there, thank you, Kepa Stan. But if there's a player out there that you can get for cheaper, that you can actually scout over time before they become a star, I would rather you do that. You're not doing that in January. You're just going for what's ready-made and what you know that you can get, right? So that's what they're going to do.
Well, Alvarez, though. I'll say Alvarez is a big name player.
Who?
Oh, my God.
Alvarez.
Alvarez is a terrible player. I'm not going to lie to you.
Listen, they didn't let him go in August. What are they going to do?
He's a terrible.
Any player you get, you're overpaid, and that's if the club will allow you to let him leave, and if they can get a replacement as well. There's no. If you guys waiting for January solutions, don't hold your high hopes for that.
Chelsea do not need top 4 to get good players. We're Chelsea, right? Like, relax.
Yeah, we can overpay their salary. Remember,
we finished 10th and signed Conte.
Exactly.
Don't get it fucked up.
And Luis from PSG.
We don't make decisions just to get top 4 because all we need. No, we have enough pedigree and background and money that we can.
I think that point. I think that point is being misrepresented because Champions League. Yes, when we missed out on Champions League, we had a team that looked like they can win stuff. Even when we missed out on Champions League, and we're going to bounce right up. But after the end of this season, when you look at this team and you're going to say, depending how we go, that this team, if a player can look at this team and go, next season, these guys are going to challenge for stuff and make Champions League. Because at the way we're going, and if we're building a team, it could be 1, 2, something we haven't done for a while, maybe 2 seasons without Champions League, maybe 3 seasons without Champions League. And now players don't want to come to us. Now that's when it applies.
We don't.
But when it's happening, the past examples don't apply. It's a team's capability of doing something next season. That's why players will start to look at that and say, this team maybe can't challenge for titles, or maybe can't get top 4 again. And maybe I'll be without Champions League for more than 1 season. So
let me have a
that's where it matters.
Let me have a pushback to that. Yes, that is very true for players like Frankie de Jong, or even maybe a player like Rice, or players like that who maybe want to win titles right now. We're not at that stage anyway, so we shouldn't be looking at those type of players. We should be looking at the guys. We should be looking at the guys who are just behind them, right? And you guys, every day I see these names on Twitter. Everybody's throwing all these guys out that I don't watch. Cool, go get one of them. All right, let's take your word for it that Enzo. So there's 2 Enzos I've heard about now. There's Enzo in Portugal and there's Enzo in France. I heard about them recently.
Go get one of them niggas, because y'all be talking about them all the time. Or Kakare, or Kone, or I don't know. Go get one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, I don't even want players. After the World Cup, these guys have got to step up. There is no solution in January for me, right? They have to step up. We look at the players we bought. Even the
Particularly, we can say that to them. Are they really going to step up though?
We're finishing ninth.
Because even if you've got all the players you just mentioned, right? If we keep going the same way, and all the players you guys want in January, you got them, right? It's not going to change. This team that we have
you can be right
now are better. They're better than what they're doing, right? And somebody's got to kick into gear. There has to be improvement. I'd rather wait for us, wait for all these transfers, wait for Potter to pick who he wants and who he doesn't want, right? And who to bring in all in the end of the season. But right now, from the World Cup, they got to kick on, right? There's no player. If you think this is a mess already, right? And you just want to buy these good players and throw them into this mess and hope everything's going to fix, that's not what happens, right? But I do agree, 3 big players can change his team. Right.
Now, I want to clear out. I'm not gonna lie. I want to complete.
Yeah, and if you want to clear up, and you want a progressive team, and just like how you said, Dan, too, players for the future that are going to get scouted properly and whatnot. We're not going to get a player that's going to win stuff. Then we might have a slow progress, 1 or 2 seasons. But I want this done at the end. And if players aren't going to step up, they're the players I want Potter to say, I don't want this guy next season.
Potter has to do that. Potter has to be more demanding.
I think clear out should start in January. Clear out also should start in January.
Should. Well, these players need something.
I agree. The only problem I have is that we can't get the players that we really want in January.
Get the freaking academy. That's the thing. I want least if we going down this route, do whatever it takes. If you want, rip the freaking bandage all the way. Don't just
Alex, that might have started with Hall. That might have
that.
started with Hall already, and I want to say that. I'd rather say young players.
No, declare. If we're ripping the bandage, don't stop at the halfway point.
Bring Caldwell back. You guys are seeing Koulibaly, man. Look at him. Just watch him. You watch him with your eyes.
You're talking about semantics, bro. Let me just tell you something.
It's not a serious player, bro.
Over the last 3 games,
you got to bring Caldwell back.
Wait, Dad, wait, chill. Over the last 3 games, we scored 0 goals. 0 goals.
I conceded how many?
We conceded 4. Literally 1 against Newcastle, 1 against Arsenal, and 2 against Manchester City. Yeah. Our primary issue is not the defense, because the defense are not leaking in goals for fun over the last how many.
By the way, those own goals against Manchester City, I agree. Defense is not the crazy. Like, you can't rip the bandage. Like, I understand what he's saying. He's right. You rip the bandage, but the bandage is a massive like the players that completely shambles. Koulibaly is the worst in the position than, for example, what's his name? In Robin Loftus-Cheek in the midfield? No, Koulibaly is more important in that defense than Robin Loftus-Cheek in any position on that field.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So yes, I want the bandage, but make sure the bandage is the proper bandage. Don't pull everything out and you all of a sudden bleed for no point. Because if we get rid of Koulibaly, now,
you're not getting rid of Koulibaly. But
I
who's
know
playing left center back? Who's playing left center back 75% of the time this year?
Get rid of Loftus-Cheek first and get an academy there. That should be the start. So
right?
rather than the academy over Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho should be the first ones out the door, fam. They should be Ziyech, fam. I don't know what this guy does. After that, I think we should replace them with
a lot of
two
people
solid midfielders, and maybe a backup right wing back if possible. But 2 solid midfielders is the priority. Yeah,
keep Kante and Kovacic who keep getting injured, but let's get rid of one of the players that's available all the time. I understand that. It's real good.
Yeah, but we're not losing games because N'Golo Kante is.
Yes, we are. Because he's not available.
Kante is a go.
You are both right. It is due to the fact that the quality of what we have right now is not good enough, because we've seen it all season. And also, Kante isn't here, so he's not helping us by not being here. So we need to get, in my opinion, this is why I said a clear out. Everybody over 30, y'all can go, bro. And everybody who has a 2-year or less contract, you can go too. Everybody.
Yep.
And let's start refresh. We've given some of these guys 6 every
not
year.
not just over 30, mate. Even under 30.
These
Some of
guys
these guys
6
are
every
gonna go.
year, so we have to hold that, man. Fuck it. We've given.
I think
some of these guys
Loftus-Cheek
that
is
I
under
don't really.
30.
We've given them a lot of years, so
No, it's not.
But
It's 27.
I'm saying an easy clear out. An easy clear out is everybody over 30. You just let them go.
It's not about the age. It's not about the age. It's about the quality, and the quality is like,
Well, age. The
bigger
age
than
doesn't
individual
matter.
player.
You can't
If
start.
you're
Yeah, of
building a
course,
team,
of course,
age
age
matters.
matters. 100%. I don't disagree that age matters. But
But I'm also saying the
that
players with 2
this
years or less
players
contract,
too.
let them go as well.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
just
saying the
start
main
afresh.
player. It's more the players as well. Yeah, age, but then that means Loftus-Cheek, who's I think the first guy needs to go. He's under 30.
One player. I'm not gonna.
He's not
pick on him yet.
What about goalkeepers? Any of them has to go?
Yeah,
Not in
both.
January.
Mendy.
Yeah,
Not in January.
Mendy's likely gonna leave over Kappa.
He kept staying. He told me. He rang me. He's on holiday.
That's why you got. That's why you lost your voice, Matt.
So I lost my voice. Yeah.
It
That's Spain.
was a cold winter. You swallowed something hard and cold.
Yeah, he had 7 inches of Kappa deep inside, but we moved.
Oh, how you can have a 7 inches, man? He can have a 7 inches with that height.
Slow down, slow down.
Big at 7 inches, dude.
Yeah, remember, like if he has a Tyrannosaurus, whatever, like the hands.
Oh my!
Lewis, Lewis, you're fucked, man. You're weird. This is your stream. This is your stream as well, man.
Some of the stuff you said on this stream, and I'm fucked.
Yeah, this is your stream.
You got to learn to spit.
Yeah,
It looks like
turn the camera. Turn the camera and say that. With a straight face.
It looks like a Kepa's cum is more like a poison or something. Throat poison.
Look, speaking of the guy, look, he's here with his trophy. Beautiful trophy.
Save
Well
of the
deserved.
month. Let's
Proper
go.
Chelsea, man.
We won
Representing
something.
the club.
What did he
Representing
win?
the
Come
club.
on.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
that's
big
one of the
up
worst
Seth
players
for that.
ever at Chelsea. I ain't gonna lie, man. Look at him.
I know about see bad, yeah, but I don't even think that's just something that we should be celebrated. Why we conceded that
I'm
many shots to begin
celebrating
with?
I'm
Why we
celebrating
concede, bro? You conceded that many shots, yeah. Like it's not
Even
it's not
that
something to
award
celebrate
is
about.
just a sign of how shit we've been this month.
That's right. I don't want my goalkeeper winning man of the match or anything. That means our team's not playing well. You know what I mean?
That means
You
he's
see how a
getting
lot of games Mendy balled out in, he barely had anything to do except one save.
Mendy's not even the problem now. Mendy's far from the
This
problem.
is a great question. Since usually after a bad game, we usually talk about 3 or 4 players and kill them. What 3 players can you get in January that replace those 3 players and completely change the way we play?
In January?
Yeah, in January.
I don't know. I just want
Are
a
you talking
midfielder
about
in
realistically
January.
or just even realistically, Daniel, or like even no?
Yeah,
This
that guy.
Wrong. My bad.
Yeah,
Daniel.
realistically, I mean, realistically, apart from like 4 or 5 players, any players on the table. But
I can tell you which players we can get and we can improve our squad immediately, if we can.
okay, firstly, can you tell me what 3 players you say are the 3 major problems in the first team, and then the 3 players you want taken over?
Oh, you want me to say which ones I want to get rid of?
Yeah, like if we need to get rid of them right now.
Let me
the main problem.
surprise everybody which one's going first. I think you're gonna be shocked that he's the one.
Surely can't be that player.
Yeah, and I want Wolves Neves to replace him. If it was me right now in January,
who?
That Wolves that
But to replace who? I didn't hear the first name.
Jorginho.
We know who.
Jorginho.
Okay,
Neves.
Yeah,
To replace Jorginho. Then I want Frankie de Jong to replace Kovacic. And the third player that I want to replace Kai Havertz is what's his face?
Nkunku?
Yep. There's 3 players, and I can tell you that we will be miles from what we've been.
We have improved our midfield, and Havertz has left my club. Like that is music to my ears. Genuine music to my ears.
You know what's
He wants the
crazy?
Champions League, Lewis. He wants the Champions League. Come on.
Yeah, but Matt,
Okay, so now,
Alex
now,
is right.
now,
Alex
what
is
if-
right. If you get rid of those
I'm
3
always
players
right.
and you replace them with those
Yeah,
3
well,
players,
yeah.
I guarantee you the likes of Sterling, All of those players around them.
Hold on, Alex.
Get better.
What if instead of those three, right? What you do end up getting is this: you get Lavia, you get Enzo, whichever Enzo you guys like.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other Enzo in France?
I don't know, bro.
I
but
don't
I'm
know
hearing
who that
it.
is.
I've never heard of the
It's
other.
like Enzo Alvarez and Enzo Fernandez.
It's Enzo Lafay. I heard that on like a stream or something. They said Enzo Lafay. I said, wow, okay, that's an interesting name. That's his name.
Enzo
I've never heard
That's
that
a
name.
FIFA player.
Enzo Lafay, bro. That's his
That's
name.
a FIFA player. That's a FIFA player.
It's a real player. I looked him up.
That's a FIFA
Yeah,
player.
the
Someone
wide
pulled it
up,
up. Like, he bought him on.
Yeah, I think it's in my pro clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's a
Daniel,
real
I'm
player.
listening. So what if we get whatever?
But what if you get, instead of those three that you want, you end up getting Lavia, you end up getting, let's say, one of those two, right? And then you end up getting the Zacharian kid. How much improvement do you see if those are the quality of players,
Not
young
much
players
improvement.
coming in?
I
They're
see
not-
some improvement, but no, I was talking about immediate improvement.
Yeah,
I don't
That's what
see
I'm
the
talking about.
immediate improvement from the other ones.
gotcha.
Like I can see long-term potential improvement versus immediate improvement.
Gotcha. Anyone else can answer the question too. I'm just interested to hear, because usually I hear 3 or 4 players. It's the same players. So if you can replace them, who?
Honestly, what Alex said is, for me, I'm 100% down. Ruben Neves in. Maybe for Loftus-Cheek instead of Kovacic, but that's neither here nor there.
I didn't say Kovacic.
Oh, no, sorry, Jorginho. Who's the other one?
Dion.
Nkunku in for Havertz.
What's that guy's from?
I ain't got no problem
Napoli
with that.
guy, though.
But I'll say Nkunku for what's his name? Ziyech or
Why
something. But it's
people
still
want
same shit,
flashy
different player.
players? Like, why is every? Why
No,
is every?
no, not the Georgian guy. What's the other one? Omishan? What's his name?
Oh.
From Napoli.
Victor Osimhen.
Yeah.
Osimhen, the striker.
We ain't getting him till he's got 1 year left on his contract.
He's not ready. He's not ready for Chelsea anyway.
But Prime, you
Yeah,
want the
like,
out.
dealing with Napoli. It's...
No. Osimhen's like, I watch him. He's not ready yet.
Daniel, what about you? What about you? What would you 3 players be?
My 3 players will be Lavia, because I'm a very realistic person. I think we're gonna sign him. 1.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I do think. Yeah, I think he's coming in, bro.
I actually like the kid, but I don't think
I
he's ready.
I don't dislike him. I'm just he's young.
Yeah.
I think he's coming in. I think it's gonna be that Alvarez guy, shit guy, but yeah. But for me, who I would want to get
for you, yeah.
I would get. Yeah, I would get one of these Enzo kids, man. I don't know these. I don't know. Listen, I don't. but realistically, I'm just putting a name. But for me, I just want somebody that Potter and his recruitment team and all these guys scout somebody.
Daniel, nobody's gonna clip you. Just pick the 3 players that you want, man.
That's what I want. I want Enzo, man.
See, you don't want to get caught in 4K.
And the last one, no, I'm telling you who I want, bro.
Oh my word, man! What a pussy ass, man! All the workouts you do with a 6-pack.
You're not gonna let me finish, right? That's what I'm doing. And then I'm getting the Zacharian kid, right?
You son of a bitch.
So I'm getting Zacharian. And then, no, I haven't finished. This is the most important. And then I'm bringing back Cole, of course. I cannot watch. I can't watch 26, man. But anyway, I'm bringing back Cole. Let's develop him, yeah. Why not?
Let's just get Enzo Amore. Can't be.
Nah, bruv. How many players do you want to develop, man?
Chalaba. I'm not answering your fucking questions anymore, Daniel.
All of them. I'm trying to develop all of them.
You basically triggered. You basically fish hooked us for the for get in 4K, and then you didn't want to do the same shit.
What same? I told you these are the players I really want.
Yeah. You should be arrested for human
what about
trafficking.
your boy,
man.
Alex? What happened to Chiesa? Your boy. I thought
Those answers, man.
What's wrong
I
with
heard that Trossard's got His contract's ending. Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he ain't
apparently
coming in
they can
January.
extend it for another year.
He does not come
He
in.
has the option, or the club has the option?
I think the club.
Yo, someone said Ezekiel Barco. That's a great FIFA name. Go get him too, man.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Take care, Matt.
I like that name. It's a good name. See, these are
By
the
the
type
way,
of guys we need to
if
get.
Liverpool thinks that they get Saudis or anybody from
We
the
need to
Middle
get
East,
Enzo.
we ain't getting that. We're
type
not
of
getting
guys.
those owners, man.
They think they're doing it clean for so long.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You see, I'm just saying. You think Saudi owners are going to pump money into English football anymore after Newcastle with what they did to Roman and stuff like that? Yeah, nothing, man.
Yeah, winner surfer, man. What's your three, bro?
Don't fall for that. I fouled.
Daniel, I'm going to be very arrogant and say we've already signed Nkuku, right? So I'll take him out. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, me too. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. Okay.
So shameless, Daniel. Shameless.
Daniel's honest with the shameless. I like it. You know, it's all good.
I don't know what's shameless. But... Go ahead.
Just on this. Go on.
Oh no. Yeah. I mean, I'd get Lavia. I'd get Neves, and I'd. You know what? I don't even know. I don't even know. I get Neves and Lavia.
Just say Zacharian.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll do that. Actually, you know what? I'll do the whole midfield. Lavia, Neves, Enzo Fernandez. There you go.
Enzo. Oh, you want Fernandez instead of Lee?
I don't even know who the other bloke is, Daniel. To be honest, I've never heard.
You gotta look him up, man.
I swear he's one of these FIFA players like Skriniar is. But
I promise you, he's real, bro.
I know he's real, but you know what I mean. I bet his mystique and legends built up because people are playing him on FIFA or something like that. You know, and these guys. I built a midfield. I just do that.
Just ask because WRX wanted me to bring this up. What's you guys' thoughts on Chelsea potentially moving out the bridge? Maybe with or without the name Chelsea FC too, if they don't get an agreement with the pitch owners.
Yeah, well.
Hey. By the way, what's the rumor with the new stadium? Is that like a move-in to the new stadium?
Could potentially be moving. There's reports saying that we're trying to get a spot like 10-15 minutes away from Stamford Bridge. Yeah. And I think long-term it would be better for Chelsea because we can't build higher than 60k.
Yeah, that's impossible, isn't it? Isn't it the pitch owner says that we're not doing whatever?
They have to get an agreement with the pitch owners, but Bowley, if he wanted to, could just move them anyway. He just have to forego the name Chelsea FC.
I know that. Thanks for breaking that news to me.
I'm saying not too bad.
I'm saying like that's not where it is. Like, so there's not an option that we're going to move because pitch owners will never agree to that.
Hopefully
they don't have to. They don't have to agree. They don't have to agree. You can move it whenever you want. It's just a name. Yes.
I mean, the name's also a very big brand too, so I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
no. If we're changing the name, no.
You call yourself Chelsea, but it'd be something.
It'll be AFC Chelsea
or CFC.
The London Cowboys.
Wait, quick question.
Yeah,
guys.
there's no chance I'm calling myself London Cowboys. I'm already Cowboys.
London Cowboys.
Hey, what makes you think it's called Cowboys? He owns the Dodgers. One at
the end of it.
London Dodgers.
Chelsea Dodgers.
Wait, quick question, guys. Is it the stadium name, like as in Stamford Bridge, or is it literally Chelsea FC?
No, it's the name Chelsea FC that we'd have to lose.
Wow.
All right, just rename it Chelsea CFC. There you go.
Done. We're not Chelsea anymore.
Nah, you can't do that. That's slight. That is slight.
We're not Chelsea.
You're just gonna call it like AFC. What you call it? FC Chelsea instead of Chelsea FC. Just gonna call it.
We're not Chelsea right now anyway, so we're already moving.
Test the pitch owners. See if they really love the club or not. Yeah, test them. Yeah, test them.
Because to me, like long term, it makes more sense to move. Like,
yes,
I get wanting to stay at the bridge. I get it, but there's a point where you just got to move.
Dude, they want to build a stadium that not only holds football events. We've seen it with the Spurs Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about getting an NFL contract, getting the box. All about different events. It's all about that's how you make the money off it. Okay.
And even if we started it, it would probably take like a good 3-4 years to build anyway. That's enough time to like, oh, we're leaving. We'll get
exactly
we'll get
enough time to do that stupid countdown thing. Remember at Highbury they had.
Yep, we'll have a nice little send off.
Yeah.
Everyone can buy a little piece of the pitch that probably isn't a piece of the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I think people want to keep the pitch. The pitchers want to keep the pitch because of sentimental values. I think someone's whose ashes was buried under the shed end.
Oh yeah, no, we'd get roasted by away fans. Stamford Bridge, the block of flats, poor on Chelsea. I can already hear it, bruv.
Hey, yeah, but they done it with Highbury, isn't it? I swear they did it with Highbury there.
Yeah, Highbury's a block of flats.
Yeah, Highbury. To be fair, I don't know if they turned the bridge into a block of flats, but no, I wouldn't really care less. If we have a better ground for it, I'm cool with it. That's why the only thing that I would want to see first is what the new design would be.
Yeah,
I like
because
that
I didn't like the
design of
old
stadium
bridge
that they
design.
had before Roman jacked it in.
Yeah, I did like that design too.
Yeah,
the
I
cathedral
didn't,
football.
but my
was a bad boy one.
opinions and all
You
that.
Philistine, Lewis.
Yeah.
No, it's because they barely added any normal seats and they just added 13,000 extra hospitality ones.
No, that's not what it was.
But your hospitality, though.
You're going to go into hospitality soon anyway. I know that, bro. Don't even try it. Yeah.
You're part of the hospitality anyway.
I wish.
Didn't you just got the blue tick on your Twitter account?
I saw that.
Yeah. Finally.
Did you buy it?
Wait,
did you buy it?
Did you buy it?
No, never,
know,
man.
Something shady about that.
No, man.
Hang on, Alex.
Don't disrespect Lewis like that. Come on.
Hang on, Alex.
No,
That's
man.
the blue tick thing, and then a day later, Lewis has it. Something doesn't smell right, man. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, maybe
If it smells, if it looks like shit, it smells like shit. It probably shit.
Maybe Elon Musk is a Chelsea fan. Maybe he's a Chelsea fan. I don't know. I don't know.
Elon Musk. I think he's
he might be a Chelsea fan. Might be.
He's a mad bastard. That's what he is.
Actually, no. We would have tried to buy the club probably. But,
yeah, and then put the stadium on Mars. Hey,
no, you change the stadium to you call it the stadium to like the Twitter stadium or like they did with was it Spotify and Barca. So just change the stadium.
He can do what he wants. He's gonna pump so much money.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Tesla Bridge.
Yeah, if we stayed at the bridge, we were going to have new sponsors.
Tesla Bridge.
God damn.
The Kardashian arena.
Well, a lot of people scoring it, so why not? It's all good.
Oh, fucking
hell,
bro.
Okay, no, bro.
What? Stadium?
100% shot accuracy in the stadium. No. Fucking no.
Kardashian's arena.
No, Flatcher said it like months ago. Flatcher said it months ago. So that's all.
Oh, why am I not surprised that was a fatter point? Right, we're gonna wrap up the stream anyway because we're going for 2 hours and I fucking need a nap. Big up everyone that's locked in. Gem is live on Chelsea Fan TV, so if you guys want to continue to vent your frustrations out, head straight over to Gem's channel, and yeah, let them know we sent you. We'll do a raid or whatever they call it on Twitch. Big up everyone that's locked in. Like, subscribe, and as always, up the Chelsea. And